So, one way people could protest peacefully, very peacefully actually, is to do this. What's up here? When you go to fill out or just ask to fill out a new one and then check that. See, if everybody did that, because I've seen so many videos everywhere, not just on TikTok, everywhere, that are saying, we've just always gone along with it. It's never been legal. That form we all fill out. But there is a place on that form that has that, and then none comes out. If everybody did that, it would also be a way to stifle some of their activities. I mean, with trafficking. Because they've used our money to do all these depraved things. The government, the World Economic, all the globalists. And part of the reason, I've read this more than once in different places, that they don't think the elites, the people in Switzerland at Davos who have no idea about anything. They don't think that if we didn't have, they think that if we were allowed freedom, like true freedom, that we would not, we wouldn't be able to maintain. That's what they think. Like we wouldn't be able to, we would just cause chaos. No, they are the ones that cause the chaos. They are. Would there maybe be certain people here and there that, but really think about it. Why do people commit crimes? Why do people fall into drugs and addictions and all that? It's because of usually your circumstances, your environment. I'm not saying that's a reason to blame it on that. But if you have a system basically where for the most part people are decent, and you don't have all this, Babylon going on everywhere in every state, then you wouldn't have all these crises. They create them. So we would do absolutely fine without all of these regulations and unions and associations. Really, we wouldn't even need the FDA. You see your doctor, think about way back in the day, not that anybody would remember that. But what's a good program? Oh, think of Little House on the Prairie, where they just went to see the local doctor and they followed whatever the doctor recommended. And then you could decide if you want. I mean, it was long. You didn't need all this. Didn't need all of it. What has all of it done? What has all the layers done? It's restricted you more. It's taken more freedoms away. It's caused more chaos. It's caused more unhappiness and crisis for people everywhere. It really has. It's caused people more hardships because, again, the top is, and I'm never usually the one that says stuff like this, but the top has been making out like bandits. Like I usually hear the left saying stuff like that, but that's where the left is right. I mean, they're right about that. That the people that have the money, that have all the power, except your AOCs that say all that, she's working for the globalists. That's the unfortunate part, because the globalists are the wealthiest ones. So they control that narrative. So the money is their blood supply. So just something to think about, because I'm with all the people I'm seeing that say this, and there's so many. And I mean, these are educated people, and I don't mean so educated they're out of their mind. But, people that work in this area that say that, and I remember one time I checked this on accident for like a whole year, and nothing was ever said. Wasn't. I changed it because I realized, like, after a year, I'm like, oh, I'm got all this money. Like, something's wrong. And it's like, I was really young. I don't even think I was 21 yet. So it was a job I had just gotten, and I think I had a parent look at it, and yeah, I think my dad looked at it and was like, well, yeah, because you don't have any taxes coming out. You have a lot of money when you don't have all that coming out. So that kind of hurt when I found out how much was coming out after I did check the rate boxes. But that box is on there for a reason. So I'm just saying that That's a way to protest. Just something to think about. I mean, we do. It's not as if we don't have any avenues we can do to make it a little uncomfortable for them. Not that I think we would, but I think it might. I think it might. Because I've said before, if everybody just quit working, what would they do? Yeah, they have their little robots to do certain things. In fact, a friend of mine sent me this picture of a hospital right outside of Chicago that has one of these robots. One of these, like, nurse robots. Not that it's a nurse, but it goes around and talks to patients. To offer empathy. So see, they want to take the real human that is supposed to be the one with the empathy and put them in the computer, really. And the robot will be the one that offers empathy. That's how twisted these people are. So when I say maybe we should do this, it's something really to consider, you know? Yeah. We've been paying their bills long enough. And that's literally what we've been doing. The Federal Reserve isn't federal. It's a bank for the global families. So they don't have to work. So they don't have to do anything. And then you know what happens because they don't do anything? They come up with all these Dr. Evil ideas and, that's what they do. They get out of their mind. Of course they would. The best punishment, I've said this before, I truly believe. I mean, I know a bunch of people would say, no, they need to go to jail. No. The best justice for all of Davos, all of your unions, the people at the top of the unions, would have to get a manual job. They actually have to work, not be making it off everybody else's money. Because that's what unions do too. They get their lawyers in there that do nothing but push, that's why I have no respect for the unions. In my state, Illinois Nurses Association endorsed Governor Pritzker, okay? Can you imagine? He's come January 1st opening up the prisons where nobody will be in prison anymore, okay? Totally not in his right mind. Put that into law. And then he's kindergartners are having drag time story hour, literally. They're being subjected in school to sexualized things. He truly should be taken out of his position and be given a mental health evaluation, but that's who Illinois Nurses Association endorsed. So when I say I'm totally disgusted with the nursing profession and the nursing, or it's like, well, look at who you people are. Look at your character. That's who you endorse. And these are stupid people. They are, because they're stupid. They don't think that's going to eventually roll over on them. It's not right. But we don't, us normal, the average Americans that have been getting screwed over by the unions, the associations, the governments at the state and federal level, by the globalists, by the United Nations, all of us that are actually normal, that work hard and do our best and live paycheck to paycheck, they should be made to do our jobs. They should go do a manual job, especially Davos. Come out of your little precious cave of Davos and go work at McDonald's. You're going to find out what it's like. You're going to find out what it's like, so you have some sort of idea of what you did to people. What it's like to not just have all your money to come up with all your ideas, because that's what they do. They have too much time on their hands. Too much time, and then they come up with climate and this and that and the science, and we're going to just control. And that's what they did. And then it's like, okay, let's do the Hunger Games. So really, they should all be made to get manual jobs. I think that would be the perfect justice. If justice ever, and justice will come to them. It will. A legal way will come to them. But that would be the best thing, is for them to have to work a manual job so that they don't have time to come up with their little ideas, because their little ideas have caused the entire world, the environment, the climate to fall into destruction because of them. They are the problem with the world and the population. They allowed themselves to be taken in by that serpent. So that would be the best justice. But if you really want to do something, if everybody in America wanted to do something, just saying it might be something to think about, to ask to fill out a new one of these and check that box.